Global Tango, Fighting Irish 12s. A bit of money for Normandy Barriere for Nigel Tinkler and Faye McManaman, 14s from 25s. Miracle of Medina is 20 to 1. Habub favourite 3 to 1. But this is quite a stiff ask for him, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to have to run faster than he's run before. Simple as that. He's running in a handicap of 93. You look at his time figures of his 2 wins so far. 85 at Chelmsford on debut, 62 when he dominated as field at Lingfield last time out. Now that's not something to necessarily be held against him as such. It just emphasises that there haven't been sort of huge performances for all that he's been winning, but what he has been in both races is completely dominant. So we don't know anything like what the bottom of this horse is at the moment. He's still got a Diamond Jubilee Stakes entry. In terms of form, he's going to have to improve in the same way that our first winner at Newbury did biometric. He's going to have to improve plenty on his raw performances up against some hardened quality sprint handicappers today. You know, horses that can run big figures will be running faster against him than the rivals that he's been dominating in those little all-weather races. So much tougher for Habub today, and ordinarily as a punter he's just the sort of horse that I'd rather be taking on than being with, really, because he's got to go and prove himself. Now that's not to say that he won't, because he's obviously in those Hamdam Al Maktoum silts. You know, you're dealing with a well-bred horse, and he is promising in the way that he's gone about his business so far, but his handicap mark of 93, it's touch and go as to whether he's really truly deserves it at this stage.
Plenty of hardened sprinters, as you mentioned, not least Ice Age, who won the race last year and is now £4 lower. He's
got a good chance again, I think. He was he took a couple of runs to come to the Boyle last season, and it was in this very race from the same handicap mark of 99 that he went bang and won quite well 12 months ago. He then followed up subsequently off a higher mark. 103 was his last winning rating, so he is a well handicapped horse again. I suspect that he's just taken a couple of runs to come to himself, but last time out at Ripon it was much more promising than his seasonal reappearance. He was drawn on the wrong side at Ripon and probably went a little bit too hard as well, maybe still building up his fitness. So all things come together, his third run of the season, back at a track where he's won, in a race that he's won from a winning mark, so you've got to consider him, I think, at 11 to 2.
He's quite versatile tactically as well, isn't he? He made all when he won this last year, and then when he went to Windsor and won, he was held up there, so you can ride him any way, really.
You can. I'd like to see him take a lead today, really, because you've got Walk on Walter, who gets on with things, and Global Tango, who's a pretty fast horse early as well. Global Tango's drawn right next to Ice Age in stall 8 as well, so he's likely to give him a lead and a toe into the race rather than firing him up a little bit too soon. But no, I think he should be competitive again today, Ice Age, like I say, with conditions in his favour. We've got a few reappearing horses in here as well, Angus, the likes of Fighting Irish, who ended last season in a bit of a lull, but if you go back to his run in the Commonwealth Cup, he actually wasn't beaten too far in the Group 1 at Royal Ascot in the middle of last summer, so running in his first handicap, even though he's off top weight, you could give him a form chance on his best efforts, but he did end last season on a little bit of a low note. We've got Fielder Rev, the filly of Ed Walker's, who's coming back for the season as well. The ground was against her when we last saw her in the autumn, but prior to that she'd rattled up a couple of wins on quick ground, and conditions today will be better for her than when we last saw her.
So loading process underway now for this contest, in which we must talk about Embor for Richard Hannon, the acclamation gelding. Sean Levy on board Embor. He did manage to win 3 times last year, and he rates as an 11 to 2 shot here, Martin.
Still an improving horse as a 4-year-old as well, and he's got fitness on his side. He's run 3 times already this year. Nothing wrong with his run at Doncaster last time out. Maybe he was just a little bit far off the pace that day, and he was still strong at the finish. So that was a solid run from Ember, and one that suggests that he's not handicapped out of things from a couple of pounds higher than his all-weather win at Kempton last month. So he should be competitive. He's a horse with a good strike rate, and that's testament to a good attitude that he's got. But yeah, I was interested in Ice Age. I think Miracle of Medina is a horse that's never won a handicap quite remarkably, but I do think he could run all right. He ran very well on his reappearance last season, and I'm not saying he'll win, but wouldn't be surprised if at 16s Miracle of Medina hit the frame.
Okay, we are just about ready. Martin with Ice Age here, but above the weakish favourite. Here's Ian.
All in, set, they're off. Race over 6 furlongs here for this Coolmore Stud handicap. Habab, the favourite on the left, a little bit slower than the others away. Previous winner Ice Age and Walk on Water to the right with the orange sleeves are the leading pair. 2 shades of blue of Fighting Irish between those, and then the black, yellow and red of Global Tango with Habab nearest to us, close up now. Be less than a length and a half behind the leaders, narrowly in 4th place. Normandy Barriere is behind him, and then the yellow cap of Feeder Rev, followed through by Embor in red colours towards the back, and then Miracle of Medinah as they head down to inside the final 2 furlongs. Walk on Water leading to Ice Age in second. Habab just given the hurry up there, gets a reminder on the left, and off to the right in black Global Tango finishing off fast but hanging away to the far side. They head to the final furlong. Global Tango's in front on the far side rails. Embor in the red coming home but strongly between those. Miracle of Medinah, the white cap, and Walk on Water is next, and Embor now the red jacket down the centre, and Sean Levy have gone on to win. Embor wins. Second place is very close in the centre. Miracle of Medinah, Global Tango right over the far side, and Walk on Water was with those.
Embor has won and has done it reasonably well in the end. He's got a good attitude, this horse, and he's won for Richard Haddon and Sean Levy. Miracle of Medinah, as Martin suggested, ran well. He thought he might easily make the frame, and he has run a big race. And it's also been a good effort from Global Tango and Kieran Fallon Jr., although he ran all over the track, didn't he? Drifted right across to the left-hand side of the track. Ice Age eased off as if something was amiss, and the favourite Habab was plain disappointed.
He was, yeah. Ice Age certainly looks as if there's something wrong with him. He's right off in the end. Hopefully he's okay. As you say, Global Tango, if he'd have stayed straight, he'd have given himself more of a chance. But look at the way this Ember just sticks his head down. He's out on his own in the middle of the track, nothing to race with him. Really sticks his neck out, doesn't he, and runs hard through the line. He's got an excellent attitude, and that's why he's picked up sort of 5 wins over the last 9 or 10 months now. He's been a steadily progressive horse. There hasn't been one performance where he's sort of blown you away, but every time he goes up the weights he stays competitive and just keeps on pulling out that extra little bit more. Miracle of Medinah briefly inconvenienced, I think, by Global Tango, but you wouldn't be making excuses for him. He half followed him towards that far rail as well when he came under pressure.
Yeah, second Miracle of Medinah, they'll Walk on Water, grabbed third ahead of Global Tango, who hung his chance away to that far rail. You can see Ice Age really eased off there, right? He's going to finish last.
Nearest side of the track. Horses that raced there were struggling, weren't they? I don't know if there's anything in that. It's something always to keep an eye on at Newbury, because you do get some meetings where it appears that certain parts of the track are better than others, and look, that's our first race on the card, isn't it, today? But it's something to keep an eye on, because we've got a big 2 days of racing at Newbury ahead.
Absolutely.
And we'll see how that develops as the afternoon goes on.
Yeah, so a winner for Richard Hannon. Well done, Embor, 11-2, beat Miracle of Medinah 16.